I heard my daughter-in-law tell my son, "That fat old woman disgusts me. I am only interested in her money." My son laughed. I pretended not to hear anything they said about my wife. But the next day I sold my $24 million house. I took everything out of the bank. And I disappeared, leaving only a note on the table. "My name is William. I'm 67 years old. I have built a real estate empire in Chicago for 40 years. 3 corporate towers downtown, 2 shopping malls in the suburbs, properties in the Gold Coast, in Lincoln Park, in the Loop. My name appears in business magazines. People respect me when I walk into a boardroom, but none of that mattered the day I heard my son laugh at my wife. My wife is named Emily. She has been my partner for 42 years. I met her when I was a fresh architecture graduate without a dime in my pocket. She was a secretary at a construction firm. We fell in love drinking coffee at a corner stand because we did not have money to go to a restaurant. Emily supported me when I decided to quit my job and start my own company. She worked double shifts so we could eat while I looked for my first client. She sold her jewelry when we needed the down payment to buy our first lot, and when we finally started to have success, when the money started coming in, she never changed. She remained the same humble woman, generous, with a huge heart. 10 years ago, Emily had a thyroid problem. The treatment made her gain weight. She went from being a slender woman to being overweight. The doctors said it was irreversible, that her metabolism had changed forever. Emily cried for weeks. She looked in the mirror and did not recognize herself. "I am no longer the woman you married," she told me one night. I hugged her tight. "You are exactly the woman I married. The one who loved me when I had nothing, the one who built this with me. Your body changed, but your soul remains the same, and it is your soul that I love." Since then, Emily learned to accept herself. It was not easy, but she did it. I loved her just the same, more even, because now I understood her strength in a way I did not understand before. We have 2 children, Jessica and Michael. Jessica married an honest engineer 15 years ago. They live in Ohio. They have 3 children. They visit us often. She always hugs her mother. She always tells her how much she admires her. Michael is different. Michael was always the ambitious one of the 2. Since he was a child, he wanted to be rich, famous, important. He studied business at a top university. He graduated with honors. He started working in my company as vice president. I gave him everything: a generous salary, a luxury car, an office with a skyline view. I thought I was preparing him to run the business someday. 5 years ago, Michael married Sarah. Sarah comes from a wealthy family. Her father owns a chain of restaurants. She studied in private universities abroad. She's pretty, elegant, sophisticated. At first she seemed like a good wife, polite, smiling, always well-dressed. But over time I started to notice things. The way she looked at our house, as if she were evaluating its value. The way she asked about my properties, as if she were taking an inventory. The way she treated Emily with a cold, distant courtesy. Emily noticed it too. "That girl does not love me," she told me once. "Do not say that. She is just reserved." "No, William. She is calculating. She is with Michael for the money. Michael is successful on his own. Michael is successful because he works for you, and she knows it." I did not want to believe her. I did not want to see what was right in front of my eyes. Things started to change after my first grandson from Michael was born. His name is Noah. He is 3 years old. He is a beautiful boy, with Emily's eyes and Michael's smile when he was little. Sarah started using Noah as a bargaining chip. Noah wants to see his grandparents. She would say when she needed something, "But we are very busy. Maybe if we had a bigger house, closer to you." I bought her a house in the exclusive suburbs, $3 million, with a garden, a pool, 5 bedrooms. "Noah needs to go to the best school," she said later. "But the tuition is very expensive. I paid the tuition for the most expensive school in the city, in advance. 5 years. Every time they asked for something, I gave it. Because I wanted to see my grandson. Because I thought it was my obligation as a father and grandfather. But the visits became less frequent, the calls shorter. And when they came, Sarah always found excuses to leave early. Noah is tired. We have a dinner. The traffic is going to be terrible. Always something. Emily noticed it. The sadness in her eyes when Sarah took Noah by the hand and led him away before she could give him a long hug. I barely know him, Emily would tell me. He is my grandson, and I barely know him. I will talk to Michael. It will not do any good. He does what she says. And she was right. Michael had changed. He was no longer the son I knew. He had become the husband Sarah wanted, a man who valued money more than family, who saw his parents as sources of resources rather than people. But I continued to deny it. I kept justifying him. He is busy. He is building his life. It is normal for them to drift away. Lies I told myself to avoid facing the truth. Everything changed 3 weeks ago. It was Sunday. Emily and I had prepared a family meal, pot roast, mashed potatoes, gravy, fresh vegetables. The whole house smelled delicious. Michael and Sarah arrived late. Noah was asleep in the car. Sorry, Dad. The traffic was terrible. Michael said. We sat down to eat. The conversation was tense. Sarah barely touched her plate. Do you not like the roast? Emily asked. I'm watching my figure, Sarah replied with a cold smile. Not all of us have the metabolism to eat these things. Emily stayed silent, but I saw the pain in her eyes. After eating, Noah woke up. Emily took him to the garden to show him the new plants she had planted. Michael and Sarah stayed in the living room. I went to my study to look for some documents Michael had asked me for. But when I was coming back, I heard their voices from the living room. I stopped in the hallway. I was not going to spy. I was just going to enter. But then I heard Sarah say, I cannot stand these meals anymore. Your mother makes me sick. I felt something inside me freeze. I know, Michael replied, but we have to endure it. At least until what? Until what? Until your dad leaves the inheritance and we can forget about coming to this house? Something like that. Sarah laughed, a cold laugh. That fat old woman disgusts me. I'm only interested in her money. Well, your dad's money. But she is a nuisance. My heart stopped beating, and then Michael, my son, my blood. He laughed. I know. But it is part of the package. We put up with the fat woman a few more years, and then we forget about her. And Noah, won't he want to see his grandparents? We will invent something. That they went on a trip. That they are busy. Something. By the time he realizes it, he won't even remember them. I felt my legs trembling. I had to lean against the wall so I would not fall. My son, my own son, speaking like that about his mother, the woman who gave birth to him, who raised him, who sacrificed everything for him, and me standing there, listening, unable to move. I took a deep breath. I walked into the living room as if I had not heard anything. Here are the documents, I said with a calm voice. Michael and Sarah turned around. Their faces were normal, smiling, as if they had not just shattered my heart. Thanks, Dad, Michael said, taking the papers. Sarah smiled at me. William, the food was delicious. Thank Emily for us. I nodded. I could not speak. If I opened my mouth, I was going to scream. They left half an hour later. Emily said goodbye to Noah with tears in her eyes. The boy hugged her. I love you, Grandma. I love you too, my love. So much. When the car drove away, Emily looked at me. Are you okay? You look pale. I am fine, just tired. That night I did not sleep. I stayed awake staring at the ceiling, thinking about what I had heard, about my son's laugh, about Sarah's words. That fat old woman disgusts me, and my son laughing. The next day I made a decision. I woke up early. Emily was still sleeping. I looked at her. My wife, my partner, the woman who had given everything for our family. And I decided that no one, absolutely no one, was going to disrespect her again. I called my lawyer, Robert. I need to see you today. It is urgent. What happened, William, I will explain later. Can you make it in an hour? Sure. I will see you at your office. Then I called my accountant. Mark, I need liquidity. A lot of liquidity. Fast. How much? Everything. Everything? Are you talking about millions? Yes? Everything. I want to sell everything. The properties, the buildings, the investments, everything. There was a silence. William, that is going to take time. And you are going to lose money if you sell so fast. I do not care. Find buyers, whoever they are. I have 2 weeks to liquidate everything. 2 weeks. That is impossible. Do what is possible. I will pay you whatever is necessary. Okay, but you're going to have to explain to me what is going on. Later. The next 2 weeks were a whirlwind. I sold the house in the suburbs. I sold the buildings downtown. I sold the commercial spaces. Everything at prices below market value. I lost millions. I did not care. My accountant was desperate. William, this is madness. You are destroying everything you built. It is my money. I do what I want with it. But your family. My family is exactly the reason I am doing this. Robert. My lawyer was also confused. Are you sure about this? Once you sign these papers, there is no going back. I'm sure. Are you at least going to tell Emily? Not yet. William, trust me. Well, while all this was happening, Michael suspected nothing. He kept working at the office, as always. He kept thinking that one day everything would be his. He kept bringing Sarah to awkward dinners, where she barely hid her contempt. One night during one of those dinners, Sarah asked me, William, have you thought about making a will? It would be good to have everything in order. Emily almost choked on her water. Michael turned red. Sarah, it is not the time. Why not? It is a valid question. William is getting old. It would be responsible to have everything legally arranged. I looked her straight in the eyes. Yes, Sarah. I have everything arranged. She smiled. That is good. One never knows when. Exactly. One never knows. 2 weeks later, everything was sold. I had $24 million in a new bank account, in my name only. Neither Michael nor anyone else had access. I closed the company. I fired all the employees with generous severance packages. I gave Michael his severance. 3 months of salary. Nothing more. What? Why are you firing me? Dad, he shouted when I gave him the letter. Because there is no company anymore. I sold it all. You sold everything without consulting me. It is my company, Michael. I do not have to consult anything. But I am your son. This was supposed to be mine. You supposed wrong. His face turned red. What does that mean? It means I do not trust you anymore. Why, what did I do? I stared at him. You know exactly what you did. He went quiet. For a moment I saw fear in his eyes. Dad, I do not want to hear it. Take your severance and leave. That night I packed 2 suitcases. One for me, one for Emily. When she arrived from the market, she saw me with the suitcases in the living room. What is going on, William? We are leaving. Where far away? I do not understand. I sat next to her. I took her hands. Listen. I sold everything. The house, the buildings, everything. We have $24 million, and we are going to go. Far from here. Far from Michael and Sarah. Far from this city. Why would you do that? I told her everything. What I had heard 3 weeks ago. Every word, every laugh, every insult. Emily stood in silence. Tears ran down her cheeks. My son said that, yes, and I decided it is not worth it. It is not worth staying here being insulted, being used, waiting for them to throw us out like trash when we are no longer useful to them. But Noah is going to grow up thinking that money is more important than people, because that is what his parents are going to teach him. We cannot change it. Emily cried for hours, but finally she nodded. You are right. We cannot stay. The next day, while Michael was at work trying to understand what had happened to the company, Emily and I left the house. I left a note on the dining table. Michael, I heard what you said about your mother 3 weeks ago. I heard how you laughed while your wife insulted her. I heard how you planned to use us until we died. I'm not going to give you that pleasure. I sold everything. I took the money. Your mother and I are going to disappear. Do not look for us. You will not find us. And when you see this note, I want you to understand something. Money does not make a family. Respect does. Love does. You chose money. So now you can keep the only thing that matters to you. Nothing. Goodbye. Dad. We closed the door. We got into the car, and we drove to the airport. Michael called 3 hours later. I let the phone ring until it died. Sarah also called, and then again, and again. I turned off my phone. Emily turned off hers, and as the plane took off, as Chicago disappeared beneath us, Emily squeezed my hand. Where are we going? Anywhere we can live in peace. And Jessica can visit us whenever she wants. She does love us. She does respect us. Emily smiled for the first time in weeks. You did the right thing, William. Yes, I did. The plane landed in Florida at 3 in the afternoon. I chose a quiet coastal town because it was far enough from Chicago, because no one would look for us there, and because I had always dreamed of living near the sea when I retired. Emily looked out the taxi window as we drove toward the center. The palm trees, the pastel-colored houses, people walking calmly under the sun. It is beautiful, she said. Yes, it is. We stayed in a small hotel near the beach. Nothing luxurious. A simple room with air conditioning and a comfortable bed. That was all we needed. That night, while we had dinner at a local restaurant, Emily asked me, Do you really think we did the right thing? What do you think I do not know? Noah. I miss Noah. I do too. But Noah will be fine. He will grow up surrounded by luxury. He will have everything money can buy. Except grandparents who truly love him. That is the price Michael chose to pay. Emily nodded, but I saw the sadness in her eyes, the pain of a mother who has just lost her son, not to death, to something worse, to greed. The first few days in Florida were strange. We had no routine. We had no obligations. For the first time in 40 years, I had no meetings, no calls, no contracts to review. It was liberating, but also terrifying. What are we going to do now? Emily asked one morning. Live. Just that, just that. We started exploring the town. We walked along the boardwalk. We visited museums. We ate at local markets. We tried seafood we had never had time to enjoy before. Slowly, Emily started to smile more, to relax, to forget, even if only for moments, the pain Michael had caused. 1 week after our arrival, I bought a new phone, with a number no one knew. I gave the number only to Jessica. She called me that same night. Dad, is that you? Yes, honey, it is me. My God. Michael is desperate. He has been calling me every hour. He says you disappeared, that you sold everything. What happened? I told her the whole story, from the moment I heard the conversation to our arrival in Florida. Jessica remained silent for a long time. Then she said, I always knew Sarah was a snake, but I never thought Michael, that my brother, your brother chose his path. And now what? Are you going to stay there forever? For now, yes. We need peace, Jessica. We need to be far from all that. I understand. Can I come visit you whenever you want? But do not tell Michael where we are. I would never. Jessica came to visit us 2 weeks later. She brought her 3 children. We welcomed her at the airport with long hugs and tears. Mom, you look better, Jessica said, hugging Emily. I feel better, without the pressure, without the judgmental looks. Michael is an idiot. He always has been. But this is unforgivable. We spent a wonderful week together. We took the kids to the beach. We visited the nature reserves. We ate fresh fish and key lime pie. We laughed. We cried. We healed. Before leaving, Jessica told me, Dad, I know you did the right thing. Michael needs to learn that he cannot treat people like that, especially his own mother. Thank you, honey. That means a lot. I love you, Dad. I love you both. Meanwhile, back in Chicago, Michael was collapsing. Jessica told me what she heard through common relatives, how Michael had gone to the house and found the note, how he had screamed, how he had broken things. Sarah, on her part, was furious, not because they had lost the family relationship, but because they had lost the inheritance. That stupid fat woman ruined everything, she told Michael. According to what Jessica heard from a cousin, Michael had tried to track me down. He hired a private investigator, but I had been careful. I closed all my old bank accounts. I opened new ones under complicated legal structures. I used cash for most transactions. It was impossible to find me, at least not easily. A month after our arrival, I decided it was time to settle down permanently. I found a house in a quiet beach community. It was small, 3 bedrooms, a garden with palm trees, and most importantly, it was 5 minutes from the beach. It cost $200,000. I bought it in cash, under the name of a company my trusted lawyer created specifically to protect our privacy. Emily cried when she saw the house. It is perfect. Do you really like it? I love it. It is everything I always dreamed of. We moved in a week later. We bought simple furniture. We decorated with local art. We planted flowers in the garden. It was a new beginning, a new life. The mornings were quiet. I woke up early, made coffee, went out to the terrace and looked at the sea, the sound of the waves, the fresh breeze, the sun rising on the horizon. Emily joined me half an hour later. We drank coffee together in silence, enjoying the moment. No rush, no pressure. Do you miss Chicago? She asked me one morning. No. Do you? Only Jessica and the kids. But they can come whenever they want. And Michael. She went quiet. Then she said, I miss the boy he was, not the man he became. That answer broke my heart, because it was exactly how I felt. 2 months after our arrival, something unexpected happened. I was at the local market buying fish when a man approached me. William Aguirre. I felt my heart stop. How had he found me? Who asked my name is James Miller. I'm a business reporter. I wrote several articles about you years ago. I have nothing to say. Please, just 5 minutes. I am writing a book about successful entrepreneurs who retired young. Your story would be perfect. I am not interested. William, there are rumors that you sold your entire empire overnight, that you disappeared without explanation. People have theories. Some say you were in legal trouble. Others that you had an existential crisis. I would like to tell the truth. The truth is private, I understand. But your story could inspire others. Entrepreneurs who are trapped in the race for wealth, who have forgotten why they started. You could show them that there is another way. I stood there thinking. Part of me wanted to tell him to go to hell, but another part, a small part, wanted people to know, wanted Michael to know, wanted Sarah to know. One interview, just one, and do not mention where I live. Deal. We sat in a cafe near the beach. James took out a recorder. Why did you sell everything? He asked. Because I realized I was building an empire for people who did not appreciate it, who only saw numbers, not sacrifice, not history, just money. Do you mean your family? I mean the people who were supposed to care, but who only cared about themselves. That is very philosophical. It is not philosophy. It is reality. I spent 40 years building something, and in one moment I understood I was building it for the wrong people. And your wife, how did she take the decision? My wife is the reason I took the decision. Someone insulted her, someone who should have loved her, and I decided she deserved better than living surrounded by people who despised her. James stopped writing. He looked at me. Your own son, I did not answer. But my silence was answer enough. William, that is a powerful story. It is not a story. It is my life. The article was published 3 weeks later. Jessica sent me a photo. It was the cover of a major business magazine. My photo from years ago. The headline read, William Aguirre, the millionaire who chose dignity over money. The article told everything, from my humble beginnings to my decision to sell it all. James respected my request not to reveal my location, but he did mention I had retired to a quiet place by the sea. The article went viral. People shared it on social media. There were comments of support, of admiration, but also of criticism. He abandoned his family. How selfish. Old people go crazy. I did not care. I was never going to care what strangers thought. Michael saw the article. Jessica told me he called her crying. Dad made me look like a villain. Everyone is going to think I'm a bad son. That is because you are a bad son, Jessica replied. How can you say that? Because it is true. You insult Mom, you use Dad, and now you are angry because there are consequences. Michael hung up. He did not call Jessica again for weeks. Sarah, according to what Jessica told me, was destroyed, not emotionally. Financially, the house I had bought them had a huge mortgage. Michael had no job. Their savings were running out. And worst of all, people recognized them at social events. Aren't you the family from the article, the ones who mistreated the dad? Sarah stopped going out. She stopped going to her exclusive clubs. She stopped posting on social media. Her perfect world, built on my money and my effort, was collapsing, and I felt not an ounce of pity. Emily, on the other hand, was blooming. She had started giving cooking classes to local ladies in our house. She loved it. She shared recipes. She learned local recipes. She laughed. She enjoyed herself. I never thought I would be this happy. She told me one afternoon while we prepared dinner together, really, in Chicago I was always stressed, worried about what people thought, about how I looked, about if Michael and Sarah were happy. And now I do not care about any of that. I only care about us. I hugged her. You are the strongest woman I know. I learned from you. 6 months after our arrival, something extraordinary happened. I was on the beach early in the morning when I saw a small boy playing in the sand. He was maybe 4 years old. He was alone. Where are your parents? I asked him. Over there. He pointed toward a nearby hotel. Are you alone? Yes, I like the beach. I stayed with him until his parents appeared. A young couple. Grateful. Scared. Thank you for watching him, sir. He slipped away while we were checking out. No problem. The boy looked at me. Are you a grandpa? Yes, I am. My grandpa lives on the beach too, but he is very far away. Where in Canada? The parents took him away. But that encounter left me thinking. Noah, my grandson, was he growing up well? Were they taking care of him? Did he think of us ever that night? I told Emily. Do you think we should try to contact Noah when he is older? What for? So he knows we exist, that we love him, that we did not abandon him. Emily thought about it. Maybe, but not now. Now Michael and Sarah control everything he sees and hears. We have to wait. How long? Until he is old enough to seek answers for himself. She was right, as always. 1 year after our arrival, I received an unexpected call. It was from a number I did not recognize. I almost did not answer, but something told me to do it. Hello? Dad? It was Michael. My heart raced. I had not heard his voice in a year. How did you get this number, Jessica? I begged her. She said if I really wanted to talk to you, I would find a way. What do you want to talk? Just talk. Please. I have nothing to say to you. Dad, please. Just 5 minutes. I was going to hang up, but Emily was watching me from the kitchen. I saw something in her eyes. Not forgiveness, but curiosity. 5 minutes, I said. Michael breathed with relief. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry. I am sorry for everything. What I said. What I did. The way I treated Mom. Is that all? No. I want you to know that Sarah and I separated. I was surprised. When 3 months ago, when the money ran out, She left. She took Noah and moved in with her parents. She says she does not want me to see my son until I have financial stability. And do you have it? No. I lost everything, Dad. The house, the car, everything. I am living in a small apartment, working in sales. I can barely pay the rent. I felt no pity. That is what happens when you build your life on lies and greed. I know now, but it was too late. Yes, it was too late. There was a long silence. Can I see Mom? He asked finally. Can I talk to her? No. Dad, please. Listen, Michael. What you did has no easy forgiveness. You insulted your mother. You laughed at her. You planned to use us. Now that you lost everything you want to come back. But it does not work like that. I changed, Dad. I really changed. Time will tell. But for now, the answer is no. And Noah. Do you not want to meet him? He is already 5 years old. That hurt me. But I stood firm. Noah can find us when he is older, when he can understand the truth. For now, he is better off without us complicating his life. That is not fair. Life is not fair, Michael. That is something you should have learned a long time ago. I hung up. Emily approached. Are you okay? I do not know. Did I do the right thing? Yes. Michael needs to learn that actions have consequences. If we forgive him now, he will never truly change. And if he never changes, then we lost our son a long time ago, and we have to accept it. That night, I did not sleep well. I thought about Michael, about the boy he was, about the man he became, and I wondered, where did I go wrong as a father? Did I give him too much? Did I teach him that money was the most important thing? Or did he simply make his own decisions and now had to live with them? I had no answer. I only had questions and pain, but I also had Emily. And I had peace, and I had dignity, and that I discovered was worth more than any fortune. The months kept passing like pages of a quiet book. Emily and I had established a routine that fulfilled us. We woke up with the sun, walked on the beach every morning, had breakfast on the terrace watching the sea. She gave her cooking classes twice a week. I had started writing my memoirs, not to publish them, just to leave a record so that someone someday would understand what had happened. Jessica visited us every 2 months with her children. Those visits were the closest thing to family happiness we had known in years. Her kids called us Grandma and Grandpa without shame. They hugged us tight. They told us their school problems. They asked us for advice. You are the best grandparents in the world. The oldest one told us, a 13-year-old boy named Ethan. Why do you say that? Emily asked. Because you really listen to us. You are not just here out of obligation. Those words reminded me of everything we had lost with Noah and everything we had gained by walking away. 2 years after our arrival, life had transformed us. Emily had lost 40 pounds, not through extreme diets or obsessive exercise, simply by being happy, by walking on the beach, by eating healthy, by not having the constant stress of Chicago. You look beautiful, I told her one morning. I feel beautiful. For the first time in years. You have always been beautiful to me, I know. But now I am also beautiful to myself. And that is what matters. I had also changed. I had more gray hair, more wrinkles, but also more peace. I slept better. I had no headaches. I did not have the constant pressure of meetings, contracts, million-dollar decisions. I had discovered something fundamental. Wealth is not in the bank account. It is in the tranquility with which you sleep every night. One day while checking my email on an old account I almost never used, I found a message from someone unexpected. It was from Sarah. The subject said, "Please read this." My first instinct was to delete it without opening, but curiosity won. William, I know I have no right to write to you. I know what I did was unforgivable. But I need you to know something. I was wrong. Completely. I was a horrible person to you and to Emily, and now I am paying the consequences. Michael and I divorced a year ago. It was my fault. I pressured him. I changed him. I turned him into someone he was not. And now Noah is suffering. He asks me constantly about his grandparents. Why does he never see them? Why do they not come to his birthday? I have lied to him. I have told him you are traveling, that you are busy. But he is smart. He knows something is not right. I am not writing to ask for forgiveness. I do not deserve it. I am writing to ask if someday when Noah is older you could explain the truth to him, so he does not grow up thinking his grandparents did not love him. Because I know you do love him. You always have. And he deserves to know. Sarah. I closed the email. I stared at the screen for a long time. Emily entered the room. What is wrong? You look worried. Sarah wrote to me. What does she want? I showed her the email. Emily read it in silence. When she finished, she had tears in her eyes. Noah misses us. That is what she says. Are you going to answer her? I do not know. Maybe this is another manipulation. Or maybe she is a mother who realized she ruined everything. Do you believe her? Emily stood thinking. I want to believe her for Noah. But I cannot forget what she said about me, what Michael allowed. Neither can I. Then let's wait. If Sarah really changed, she will prove it with time, not with an email. 3 months later, Sarah wrote again. This time she attached photos of Noah at his birthday, at school, playing in the park. He had grown so much. He was no longer the baby I had carried in my arms. He was a big boy, with intelligent eyes, with a shy smile. The email said, William, I do not expect an answer. I just wanted you to see your grandson, to know how he is growing. Last week he asked me if you and Emily were mad at him. I told him no, that you loved him very much. I do not know if I did right in telling him that, but I could not let him think he did something bad. V. I showed the photos to Emily. She looked at them for a long time. She touched the screen with her finger, as if she could caress Noah's face through the glass. He is so big, she whispered. Yes, I am missing his life. I know. What do we do, William? That was the question that tormented me. What did we do? Did we maintain our stance? Did we protect our dignity but lose our grandson? Or did we open the door, risking being hurt again? A week later, I made a decision. I replied to Sarah. V, thanks for the photos. Noah looks good. I am not ready to forgive. Maybe I never will be, but I also do not want Noah to suffer for the mistakes of adults. When he turns 10, if he still asks about us, give him our phone number. Let him decide if he wants to meet us. Not before. He needs to be old enough to understand. W.A. Sarah's reply arrived hours later. Thank you. I will do it. I promise. I do not know if I believed her, but at least I gave her a chance. And that had to be enough for now. The following months brought unexpected changes. Jessica called me one night with news. Dad, Michael is sick. I felt my stomach tighten. What does he have? He was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It is quite advanced. The doctor says it is from stress and bad habits. Michael has been living on fast food and not exercising. Is he receiving treatment? Yes, but it is expensive, and he does not have full health insurance. Why are you telling me this? Jessica sighed. Because he is your son, Dad, and even though what he did was terrible, he is still your son. Are you asking me to help him financially? No, I am just informing you. What you do with that information depends on you. We hung up. I sat on the terrace watching the sea. Michael was sick. My son was sick. And a part of me, as small as it was, felt pain. Emily came out to the terrace. What did Jessica tell you? Michael has diabetes. Serious? Quite? Emily sat next to me. What are you going to do? I do not know. Do you want to help him? No. Yes. I do not know. William, look at me. I looked at her. Michael hurt you. He hurt me. He disrespected us in the worst way, but he is also your son. And if he dies without you reconciling, you are going to carry that guilt the rest of your life. Are you saying I should forgive him? I am saying you should think about what you can live with. Can you live knowing your son died sick and alone? Or do you need to at least try? I did not answer, because I had no answer. 2 days later, I sent money to Michael. Not much. $20,000. Enough to cover his medical treatments for a year. I did it through Jessica, with only one condition. Michael could not know it came from me. Tell him it is a loan from a friend of yours. I told Jessica that he has to pay it back when he can. Why so much secrecy? Because I do not want him to think this changes anything. It changes nothing. I am just making sure he does not die. Jessica accepted. The money reached Michael 3 days later. He called me crying. Thank you, Jessica. I do not know how to pay you back for this. Do not thank me. That was all she said. 6 months later, I received another letter, this time handwritten, from Michael. Dad. I know the money came from you. Jessica did not confirm it, but I know. No one else would have helped me like that. I do not know how to thank you. Words are not enough, but I want you to know that I am changing. Really. I stopped eating junk. I started exercising. I am going to therapy. The psychologist is helping me understand why I did the things I did. And the conclusion is that I always felt less than you. Less successful. Less intelligent. Less valuable. And instead of working on myself, I decided to resent you. I decided that if I could not be like you, at least I could have your money. It was stupid. It was cruel. And I am sorry. I do not expect you to forgive me. I just hope that someday you can understand that I truly regret it. Your son, Michael. I read the letter 3 times. Then I gave it to Emily. She read it too. When she finished, she said, "It sounds sincere." Yes, but words are easy. Actions are what count. What are you going to answer him? Nothing. Not yet. A year later, Jessica gave us surprising news. Michael is working at a nonprofit organization. He helps low-income entrepreneurs get microloans. Really? I asked, incredulous. Yes, he does not earn much, but he is happy. He says for the first time in his life, he feels he is doing something that matters. And Noah. He sees him every 2 weeks. Sarah is giving him supervised visits. Michael is proving he can be a good father. I am glad for him. Really? Yes, really. And it was true. I was not ready to forgive. But I was glad Michael was trying to be better. 3 years after our arrival in Florida, Noah turned 10. Jessica called us. Sarah wants to know if they can talk to Noah on the phone. Emily and I looked at each other. We had waited for this moment for years, but now that it was here, I felt fear. What did they tell him about us? And I asked. The truth, that there were family problems, that you left to protect yourselves, but that you always loved him. And what did he say? That he wants to meet you, that he has many questions. Emily took my hand. Let's do it. The call came that night. It was a video call. We answered with trembling hands. The screen lit up, and there was Noah. He was no longer a small child. He was a preteen, tall, with Michael's dark hair, with Emily's eyes. Grandpa, he asked with a shy voice. Emily started to cry. Yes, my love. It is us. I missed you. We missed you too. So much. Why did you leave? It was the question we knew would come. But it still hurt, because difficult things happened, I said. Adult things. But it was never because of you. We always loved you. My mom says my dad did something bad. Is it true? I looked at Emily. She nodded. Yes. Your dad made mistakes. Big mistakes. And we needed space. Can you tell me what happens someday when you're older? For now, the important thing is we want to know you. We want to be part of your life, if you want. Noah smiled. Yes, I want to. I want to very much. We talked for an hour about his school, his friends, his hobbies. We told him about Florida, about the beach, about our quiet life. When we hung up, Emily and I hugged each other and cried. The calls with Noah became weekly, every Sunday at 6 p.m. without fail. We told him stories about when his dad was a boy. We taught him life lessons. We asked him about his problems, and slowly we were building a relationship, different from the one we would have had if we had never left, but real, genuine. 3 months after the first call, Noah asked, "Can I come visit you?" Emily and I looked at each other. We had expected this question, but we did not know how to answer. Who would bring you? I wondered. My mom says she can bring me, if you agree. Your mom wants to come. She says she wants to ask for forgiveness. In person. 2 weeks later, Sarah and Noah arrived. We picked them up at the bus station. When Noah saw me, he ran toward me. "Grandpa." I hugged him tight. He was solid, real, not an image on a screen. My grandson, in my arms. Emily hugged him next, and she cried and laughed at the same time. Sarah stayed back, nervous, scared. "William, Emily, Sarah," I said with a neutral voice. "Thanks for letting us come. I know I do not deserve it. We did not do it for you. We did it for Noah. I know, and I understand." The next 3 days were complicated. Noah was pure joy. He ran on the beach. He played in the garden. He helped Emily in the kitchen. He listened to my stories about his great-grandmother. He was everything we had dreamed of. Sarah, on the other hand, was a silent ghost. She helped in the house. She did the shopping. But she barely spoke, as if she was afraid to say the wrong thing. The night before they left, Sarah asked to speak to me in private. We sat on the terrace. The sea was calm. The stars were shining. "William, I need to tell you something." "I am listening." "What I said about Emily was the worst thing I have said in my life, and I have no excuse. I was poisoned by greed, by ambition, by the idea that money was the only thing that mattered. And now I lost everything. And I realized that the only thing that really matters is family. Relationships, love, pretty words, but words do not heal wounds. I know. That is why I am not asking you to forgive me. I am just asking you not to close the door on Noah. He is not to blame for my mistakes. I have never closed it on him. Only on you and Michael. I understand, and I accept it." She stayed quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "Someday could you forgive me? I do not know. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how much you truly change. I am trying. I am really trying. Time will tell." When Sarah and Noah left, Emily and I felt empty. The house felt too big, too quiet. We had tasted what it was like to have Noah close, and now his absence hurt even more. "Did we do the right thing?" Emily asked. "What do you mean, leaving, moving away? Was it worth it? Did it protect your dignity? Did it protect our marriage?" "Yes, it was worth it. But we lost years with Noah, years we would not have enjoyed. Because every visit would have been poisoned by Sarah and Michael. Every moment would have been full of tension. Maybe, not maybe, definitely. Now Noah knows us without that pressure. He loves us because we are us, not out of obligation." Emily nodded. "You are right." 6 months later, Michael asked to speak with me. Jessica organized a video call. I had not spoken to my son in almost 4 years. When his face appeared on the screen, I almost did not recognize him. He had lost weight, he had more gray hair, but he also looked different, calmer, humbler. "Dad," he said with a broken voice. "Michael, thanks for giving me time with Noah. Sarah told me about the visit. She said you were wonderful with him. He is our grandson. We love him. I know, and I know I do not deserve anything from you, but I want you to know that I changed, that I am working on being better. That is what they told me. Do you believe me? Actions speak louder than words, I know. That is why I have been working in silence, without asking you for anything, without expecting anything, just trying to be the man I should have been from the beginning. And what do you want from me now? Nothing. I just wanted to tell you I am sorry, that I am deeply sorry for everything I did, and that if someday you can forgive me, I will be waiting." I looked at my son. I saw the boy he was, the teenager I taught to drive, the young man who graduated from university with honors. And I also saw the man who betrayed me, who insulted his mother, who chose money over family. Which one was real, the boy or the traitor? Or were they both the same person at different moments? Michael, I cannot promise you forgiveness. Not yet. But I can promise you I am trying. That is more than I deserve. Yes, it is. The call ended. Emily entered the room. How do you feel? Confused, tired, but also hopeful? Maybe hopeful for what that people can change. That mistakes do not have to define someone forever. Does that mean you are going to forgive Michael? I do not know. But it means I am not going to close the door completely. If he really changed, time will show it. A year later, something extraordinary happened. Noah came to visit us again, this time with Michael. It was the first time I saw my son in person in almost 5 years. When he got off the bus, I stood paralyzed. He looked so different, thinner, older, but also more genuine. "Hello, Dad," he said with a trembling voice. "Michael." Noah ran toward me. "Grandpa, look, my dad came with me." "Yes, I see." Michael approached slowly. "Thanks for letting us come. I did it for Noah, I know, and I appreciate it anyway." The following days were tense, but healing. Michael did not try to justify what he had done. He did not try to minimize it. He was simply there, helping, being humble. He played with Noah on the beach. He helped Emily in the kitchen. He helped me with repairs around the house. And one night, after Noah went to sleep, Michael and I sat on the terrace. "Dad, I need to tell you something." "I am listening." "I have been going to therapy for 3 years. And finally, I understood something. I spent my life competing against you, trying to be as successful as you. And when I couldn't, I filled myself with resentment. And why compete? I never asked you to be like me. I know, but I asked it of myself. And when I failed, it was easier to blame you, to blame Mom, to blame everyone but myself. And now I understand that my value does not come from how much money I have. It comes from who I am as a person, as a father, as a son. Do you really believe it? Yes. And I am going to spend the rest of my life proving it. I looked at him, my son, broken, humbled, but also healing. Michael, what you did almost destroyed your mother, almost destroyed us, I know, and I cannot promise you that someday I will forget it. Because I am not going to forget it, I understand, but I can promise you I am going to try to forgive you. Not for you. For me, because carrying this hate is consuming me. Michael started to cry. "Thanks, Dad. Thank you." I did not hug him. I was not ready yet. But I put a hand on his shoulder, and that for now was enough. When Michael and Noah left, Emily asked me, "Are you really going to forgive him?" "I am going to try. I do not know if I will achieve it, but I am going to try." Why? Because I am tired of being angry. Because I want Noah to grow up with a family. And because Michael is my son. And as much as it hurts, I still love him. Emily cried. I did too. I love him too, even if I wanted not to. We hugged and we cried together for what we lost, for what we gained, for the long road we still had ahead. 2 years later, Noah turned 13. We organized a party in Florida. Jessica and her family came. Michael came. Even Sarah came. It was weird. Awkward at times, but it was also family. It was not the perfect family I had dreamed of. It was broken, full of scars, but it was healing. During the party, Noah gave a speech. I want to thank my grandparents for not giving up on us, for teaching me that forgiveness is possible, and for showing me what dignity really means. Everyone applauded. I had a lump in my throat. Afterward, Noah approached me. "Grandpa, can I ask you something?" "And anything. Did you ever regret leaving?" I thought about the question. I really thought about it. No. Leaving saved my marriage. It saved my mental health. It gave your grandmother her dignity back. But did you not miss my dad? I missed the son I thought I had. But that son only existed in my imagination. Your real dad is the one standing there now, trying to be better, and that man slowly I am learning to know. Noah nodded. Thanks for not giving up on him, even though he hurt you. I did not do it for him. I did it for you. I know. And I love you for that. I hugged him. My grandson. My second chance. My redemption. Today I am 72 years old. 5 years have passed since I left Chicago. Since I sold everything. Since I disappeared. Do I regret it? No. Was it easy? No. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Michael and I have a distant but respectful relationship. We speak once a month. Sometimes he comes to visit. We never talk about the money he lost. We never talk about what could have been. We only talk about the present. And slowly, we are building something new. Sarah also changed. She got a job as a teacher. She became humble. And although we will never be close, there is mutual respect. Noah comes to visit us every vacation. He is a brilliant teenager. He is studying. He has dreams. And most importantly, he has values. He knows money is not the most important thing. That dignity has no price. That family is built with respect, not with obligation. And those lessons are worth more than the millions I left behind. Emily is radiant, healthy, happy. She has lost more weight, but more importantly, she has gained confidence, self-love, peace. Do you miss anything from our previous life? I asked her a few days ago. Only the good things, the rest. The rest can stay in the past. And if you could turn back time, would you change anything? Yes, I would have confronted Michael and Sarah from the beginning. I would have defended my dignity sooner. But you did it for me, and that is something I'm never going to forget. People sometimes ask me if it was the right decision, if I should have stayed, if I should have fought, if I should have forgiven immediately. And my answer is always the same. There is no universal right answer. There is only the right decision for you. For me, leaving was right. It protected my marriage. It protected my mental health. It gave Emily the space to heal. Was it selfish? Maybe. But sometimes selfishness is necessary. Sometimes you have to save yourself before you can save others. And about the note I left that day, the one that said I was taking everything and disappearing, it was the most honest statement I have ever made in my life. Because sometimes the only way to demonstrate your value is by removing yourself from the equation. It is showing people what they lose when they lose you. Michael learned it the hard way, and although it hurts me what happened, I am also glad. Because now he is a better man, a better father, and that in the end was what I always wanted. Today is a special day. Noah turns 18. He is no longer the little boy we barely knew. He is a full-grown young man. He is about to enter college. He wants to study social work. I want to help families in crisis, he told me last week. Families like ours. So they find solutions before it is too late. His words filled me with pride. From everything bad that happened, something beautiful came out. A conscious, empathetic, brave young man. We organized the celebration in Florida. It is a big party. Everyone came. Jessica with her family. Her kids are teenagers too. Ethan is 16 and wants to be an architect like I was. Michael arrived early to help with preparations. He comes alone. He remarried a year ago to a simple woman. A teacher like Sarah, but different, genuine. We met her 6 months ago. Her name is Rachel, and she treats Emily with respect, with real affection. Sarah is also here. She came with her new boyfriend, a hard-working man who runs a mechanic shop. She looks happy, calm. She no longer has that calculating look from before. And us. Emily and I are in the center of everything, surrounded by family, by love, by respect. Who would have thought 5 years ago Emily whispers to me while we watch everyone mingle? No one. Absolutely No one. You did the impossible, William. You rebuilt this family? No. We rebuilt it together. Everyone had to do their part. During dinner, Noah asks for silence. I want to say something, he announces with a firm voice. We all stop talking. We look at him. When I was a kid, I did not understand why my grandparents were not there. Why all my friends saw their grandparents often and I did not. It hurt me. It made me feel different. I see Emily squeeze my hand. But when I turned 10, everything changed. I met my grandparents by video call and then in person, and I understood that sometimes love means walking away, means protecting yourself, means saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. Michael looks down. I see tears in his eyes. My grandfather taught me that dignity is not negotiable, that respect is the basis of everything, and that money is the least important thing. Noah looks directly at me. Grandpa, thanks for not staying in a situation that hurt you. Thanks for teaching me it is okay to set boundaries, and thanks for giving my dad a second chance when he finally deserved it. My voice breaks. I cannot speak. And Grandma. He continues looking at Emily. Thanks for being the strongest woman I know, for enduring insults and remaining kind, for forgiving even though it hurt. You are my hero, Emily cries openly. Noah approaches and hugs her. Everyone applauds. There are tears on all faces. Later, when the party calms down, Michael approaches me. Dad, can we walk? Sure. We walk along the beach. The sun is setting. The sky is painted orange and pink. Noah is an incredible young man, Michael says. Yes, he is. Thanks for being his grandfather when I could not be his father. You were always his father. You just lost the way for a while. Michael stops. He looks at me. Dad, I never asked you. Did you ever forgive me? It is the question I have avoided for years. Forgiveness is complicated, Michael. It is not a switch you turn on or off. I know, but I need to know. I need to know if someday I can regain your trust. I look at the sea. The waves come and go. Constant, eternal. Do you know what I learned these years? What that forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering and choosing to move forward anyway. It is seeing the scars and deciding they are not going to define your present. That is what it means. It means I forgive you. Not because what you did is right. It will never be right. But because carrying that weight was killing me, and because I see that you really changed. Michael breaks. He cries like a child. He kneels in the sand. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. I help him up, and for the first time in 5 years, I hug him. Really, without reservations. But listen to me well, I tell him. If you ever disrespect your mother again, if you ever put money above family, if you ever betray our trust again, there will be no third chance. Do you understand? Yes, I understand, and I swear it won't happen. It better not. We return to the house. Emily is in the kitchen with Rachel and Sarah. The three are making coffee. It is a surreal scene. My wife's 2 ex-daughters-in-law working together, laughing about something. All good, Emily asks when she sees us enter. Yes, all good. She looks at me and understands. She always understands. That night, after everyone goes to sleep, Emily and I sit on the terrace. You did it, she says. What thing you forgave Michael? How did you know? Because I know you, and because I saw it in your face. You took a huge weight off. Yes, but it was difficult. Everything worth it is difficult. You are right, as always. The following days pass quickly. The family stays a full week. It is the first time in years we are all together for so long. There are awkward moments still, comments that hurt, tense silences, but there are also laughs, hugs, real connections. One afternoon, while everyone is on the beach, Jessica sits next to me. Dad, I want to tell you something. Tell me. You were right. 5 years ago when you left, I thought you were being extreme, that you were punishing Michael too hard. And now Now I understand it was the best thing you could do. If you had stayed, if you had endured, nothing would have changed. Michael would still be the same. Sarah would still be the same. And you would be destroyed. Thanks for understanding. Dad, you taught me something important. You taught me that true love sometimes means saying no, means setting boundaries, means protecting yourself. And you taught me that family is worth it when it is built on respect. Like your family. Jessica smiled. I hope my children never do to me what Michael did to you. I do too. But if it happens, you know what to do. The last day of their visit, I organize a family meeting. Everyone sitting in the living room. I have something to say. I want to talk about the future. I begin. Everyone looks at me attentively. Emily and I are not going to live forever. And when we reach the end, there will be decisions to make about what we leave. I see Michael tense up. Sarah looks at the floor. I want you to know that most of what we have will go to Noah. In a trust. He won't be able to touch it until he turns 25, and it will be managed by Jessica. Michael nods. Seems fair to me. I am also going to leave something for each of Jessica's grandchildren, and for any future grandchildren Michael might have. Dad, you do not have to... Michael starts. Let me finish. I am also going to donate a significant part to the non-profit organization where you work, so they can help more families. Michael is left speechless. Why? He finally asks. Because your work is valuable. Because you are helping prevent other families from going through what we went through, and that deserves support. I do not know what to say. Do not say anything. Just keep doing what you are doing. That night before they leave, Emily gathers everyone in the garden. I also want to say something, she announces. We all surround her. 5 years ago, I was broken. I felt ugly, unwanted, invisible. And the worst is that the people who were supposed to love me made me feel that way. She looks at Michael and Sarah, not with hate, with sadness. But William saved me. He took me far away. He gave me space to heal. And here in this quiet place, I found myself again. She has tears in her eyes. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I tell you so you understand something important. Words have power. Insults leave scars. And sometimes those scars never heal completely. Emily, Sarah starts. Let me finish. I have forgiven you, both of you, because carrying that resentment was making me sick. But forgiving does not mean forgetting. The scars are still there. She points to her heart. But there are also good scars, the ones that come from healing, from growing, from being stronger. She smiles. So thank you. Because without that pain, I never would have discovered who I really am. And it turns out I am much stronger than I thought. Everyone applauds. Noah hugs his grandmother. Michael cries in silence. And me. I feel proud of the woman standing next to me. The warrior. The survivor. My Emily. Today, while I write these last words, I am 73 years old. 6 years have passed since I left that note on the table and disappeared. 6 years since I took the most difficult decision of my life. Do I regret it? Never. Was it easy? Never. Was it worth it? Every damn second. I learned important things in these years. I learned that dignity is not negotiable. That respect is the most valuable currency that exists. That money is important, but never more important than your peace of mind. I learned that forgiveness is a process, not an event. That you can forgive and still maintain boundaries. That you can love someone and decide to be far from that person. I learned that family is not about blood. It is about respect, about genuine affection, about being present when it matters. And I learned that sometimes the best decision is the most radical one, the one no one expects, the one everyone criticizes. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with your decisions, no one else. If someone is listening to this story and is going through something similar, I want to tell you something. You do not have to endure mistreatment. It does not matter who the person is. It does not matter if it is your son, your father, your brother. No one has the right to disrespect you. And if you decide to walk away, you are not a coward. You are brave, because it takes more courage to leave than to stay and endure. Your dignity is worth more than any relationship. Your peace of mind is worth more than any money. And if people criticize you, if they call you selfish, if they tell you that you abandon your family, let them talk. They do not live your life. You do. Emily enters the room. She sees me writing. Did you finish your story? Almost. Only the most important part is missing. What is it? The end. She smiles. She sits next to me, reads what I've written. It is beautiful, she says, but something is missing. What? The part where you say you would do it again. That even though it hurt, even though it was difficult, you would choose the same decision 1,000 times more. She is right, so I write it. I would do it again, 1,000 times. I would sell everything. I would disappear. I would leave that note on the table, because that decision gave me my life back, gave me my wife back, gave me my peace back, and although the road was long, although there were tears, although there was pain, in the end, we found what really matters. Not money, not properties, not success, but respect, dignity, real love, and that friends is priceless. To everyone listening to this story, if someone disrespects you, do not tolerate it. If someone uses you, walk away. If someone makes you feel less, find your value elsewhere. Because you deserve to be treated with dignity. You deserve to be loved truly. You deserve peace. And if to get that, you have to sell everything, disappear and start over, do it. Without fear, without guilt. Because your life is yours, and no one has the right to destroy it. I close the notebook. Emily takes my hand. Ready for the next chapter, she asks. Which next chapter? The one coming. The years we have left. The adventures we still have not lived. I smile. Always ready for adventure. Always. We get up, go out to the terrace. The sun is setting over the sea. I look at the horizon. I think about everything I left behind and everything I found here. And I understand something fundamental. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find what really matters. Sometimes you have to disappear to discover who you really are. And sometimes the craziest decision is the sanest one. Emily rests her head on my shoulder. I love you, she says. I love you too. Thanks for this journey. Thanks to you for having the courage to start it. The sun disappears on the horizon. The stars start to shine. And while the sea sings its eternal song, I understand that this simple, quiet life, next to the woman I love, is more valuable than all the millions I left behind. And if I had to choose again, I would choose this. I would always choose this. My dear friend, if you made it this far, thanks for listening to my story. I hope it taught you something, that it made you think, that it gave you the courage to defend your dignity, because that is the only thing we really have, our dignity, our self-respect, and no one, absolutely no one has the right to take it from you. Take care, respect yourself, love yourself, and if someone does not treat you as you deserve, you know what to do. Forever yours,